this is in response to the Twitter thread about the Ratchet and Clank Immortality, and my personal opinions on that feature seem to be that it's a good feature for, I suppose, when you have a kid's sibling or cousin or whatnot, and they want to play the game. Instead of giving them a fake controller we used to do back in the day, you can actually let them play it and not mess up your progress and whatnot. I suppose that's great, you know. But I think it comes from a deeper thing. Not just game journalists reviewing games. Deeper than that. It's fucking the idea that you paid money for something and you're owed to see the end credits, or you're owed to be satisfied with the product. And I guess being good at the game is being satisfied with the product, regardless of the other qualities of the game that might be good or not. Because at the end of the day, it's about winning. It's always been about winning. It's always been about overcoming shit. It's always been about, I suck at life, so I need to overcome a fucking video game to feel better about shit. Let's be honest. Like, and you know, like, when I play my single player games, you know, me and my friends, we used to put the cheat codes. You know, for Midnight Club 2, we used to put the cheat codes for GTA. But the difference with those cheat codes was the fact that they actually made the game more fun and interesting. You know, you put the acrobatic code in Midnight Club and you start flipping, you put the gun code, you can shoot each other. All this shit. You know? And that's what was cool about cheats. You know, we used to have booklets with actual cheat codes in them because they actually made the game fun. Now, if you have something like that, because games have achievements and shit like that, you can't put the cheat codes anymore. You know, I guess GTA 5 brought them back. You know, in the button sense, you know. I still fucking remember, you know, how to get guns in GTA 3. It's R2, R2, L1, R2, left and right up, and all this other crap. And it's R1, circle, R2, up, down, up, down to get the cops off you. You know, there's a lot of shit like that, bro, but the fact of the matter is, people just want to see the end credits. You know, because back in the day, let's be honest here. Who the fuck you know actually beat the Tomb Raider game? That shit was too hard. It's too clunky and all this shit. And maybe beat it now. You know? But, oh shit, I did a lot of shit as a kid I didn't even know, to be honest. And a lot of times, you know, people just played the games, said, yeah, I'll fuck with it, you know. They ain't never beat it. And that's just the world we live in today, bro. Like, accessibility doesn't mean, oh, let's help the colorblind, let's help, you know, people with mental disabilities or something like that. That's not what it means. It means people being lazy and they want to feel a part of something. And I've been talking about this for fighting games for years. This has been happening. And in some regards, I don't think it's for the person that, you know, oh, I'm just hopping in, fucking around with my boys, I just want to do the cool special move or some shit. It's not for them, bro. Let's be honest. It's for the people that do play fighting games. These are the people that they come from another fighting game and they feel like they're owed something. Like their skill needs to mesh well with this new game. But sometimes the game's playstyle is vastly different. You know, if you're a Street Fighter player going into an anime game, it's not the same thing anymore. Street Fighter changed its playstyle with Street Fighter 4. And arguably you could say Street Fighter 3 is when it started to become more footsie focused and all this other crap. And people were like, oh, my footsies and all this shit. And you got I'm Still Daddy playing fucking Alpha 3 talking about, oh, this ain't a Street Fighter game. That ain't Street Fighter because Akuma did some shit. And it's like, what's Street Fighter, nigga? Yo, be real. Like, really be real here, bro. Like, people want to dictate shit because they feel like they're owed it, or they want to feel like they're a part of something. Okay? And they'll do anything in their power to keep it that way. All that shit with Guilty Gear Strive, yeah, whatever. You can like Guilty Gear Strive, but why you shitting on the old games? Like, I don't even fuck with the old games like that. And I'm like, why y'all doing that? Like, it doesn't help nobody. Okay? And now I fucking bet you and it's kind of already happening. But you see French bread, right, coming out with Melty Blood, and they're thinking, oh, all those people, they're tired of the accessibility, they're tired of the fucking shitty anime games. Let's bring back the real fast paced, degenerate bullshit fucking anime game. Let's do the old school shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like to a degree KOF kind of did that with 14, kind of, sort of. It does this weird. It does have an accessibility issue if you look at it from a KOF perspective, but in comparison to what every other fucking fighting game was offering, it was a breath of fresh air. Because for me personally, like hopping into an old game and just doing the block strings, just doing the attacks, felt good. Like doing those bodega strings that Yipes calls them. You know what I'm saying? Like crush like it bullshit. Like the SNK crush like it things and all that other shit. Like it feels good to do it. And now, like, you know, I hopped on BB Tag and I'm just playing it and I'm like, this feels off. Something is weird about this. Like, you know, coming from BBCF after playing a while with my friend and then going to that game, I'm like, nah, that game is weird, dude. Why does it feel like things are just trying to be done for me, or it just wants to do shit? I don't know. Like, people just want shit being done for them, it seems. And while I understand the sentiment, yeah, we paid money, yeah, we should feel like we got something part of the deal. It's not a developer's job to cater to you. And if they say it is, bro, it's really just because of the money. Let's be honest. They just want the money. They don't care if what gripes you have with it. You know, how long people been complaining about Solo and Stride? How long people been complaining about the netcode and SF5? How long, bro? How fucking long do people gotta say shit? It doesn't matter because they see the moolah coming in. They don't need to worry about it until it's gonna harm them enough where they need to worry about it. That's just the world we live in. And the sooner people realize that shit, the sooner they can move on, go play another fucking game, and be happy. Possibly. And then we gotta deal with some other problems that those games probably have, but that's, you know, besides the point. You know, when SF4, you know, had its issues or whatever, I still moved on to other fighting games. I still wanted to try other fighting games and shit. And this is not to say SF4 was a bad game. It wasn't. It was fun. It was, you know, it introduced a lot of people to Street Fighter who once otherwise maybe just played SF2 once or twice or some shit as a kid and all this other crap. You know, I started with the fucking on the Genesis, the Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2 Dash, you know, fucking, and then it came to Anniversary Collection on the PS2. Me and my friends used to fuck around with that, the Alpha Anthology, all that bullshit, and Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, all these weird games, you know, and it's interesting to see how developers get it twisted, what's the core issue of people, and how they're trying to learn the game. You know, they're trying to get them to a point where they're more comfortable, but in doing so, it's not really fun anymore the same way. Because I assure you, you work at something, bro. I know the feeling, bro. I worked at something, I saw something happen, and it feels 10 times better. It really does feel 10 times better when you get something that's hard and you finally fucking get it or grasp the concept or understand it. Like, for years, I fucking sucked at BlazBlue, and because I was too stubborn. Because I was saying, oh, Street Fighter's like this, it should do this, Street Fighter, you know what I'm saying? All this other bullshit that, in a way, I indirectly call Strive to exist. And it took me to be like, oh, well, let me just do the trial mode and learn this shit, and I figured something out. And what's interesting is that, oh, you should be like, oh, but the trial modes, of course you're gonna learn the character doing trial mode. Yeah, I know, I did that for Undernight and all that shit, but SF4 ruined trial modes too, because SF4 made trial modes where those things weren't practical. None of the things that you find in the trial mode of SF4 is practical. It's just a glorified command training from DOA. That's all it is. Street Fighter fucked up a lot of shit. It paved the way for a lot of good things, but it created precedents for a lot of bad things too. You know, and I think Grand Blue Fantasy versus Strive, all those games are because of SF5's shortcomings. And companies seeing that, oh, what SF5 did was actually a thing. What the fuck? Why did Street Fighter have to get any easier? I'd argue Street Fighter always had an appeal to it where it could get casual sales and still have something complex in the game. Or even like something basic you can do and you can get by, and everybody was unique because they found something that was unique. Now it's like you play SF5 and everybody plays the same. Unless you play Urian or Monat or some shit like that. There's no real like, you know, you watch someone play your character and you feel like, oh shit, I didn't know I could do that. Motherfucker, I played Virtua Fighter. And I got people that play the game for fucking years telling me, yo, I didn't even know you could do that shit. That's not going to happen with these games. Now you're going to hop up into training mode for like 30 minutes and you already found the best setups. You have the meta already. That's it. The game's not going to go any deeper than that. There's not going to be something that's going to trouble you anymore. What's going to trouble you is the lack of depth, the lack of complexity, and you feel like you're stuck. You feel like you're in a hard spot because they want to lower the gap between beginner and intermediate. They just want to have beginner and expert. That's all they want now. They don't want those in-betweens. They don't want you discovering the little things, the little setup I found, here. Oh, nah, setup? Oh, nah, take that shit out. Oh, that overhead shit? Take that shit out. What the fuck you think Ibuki didn't have a fucking reverse dragon punch kick overhead? Nah, it's too generous. You cancel that shit and then you control the kunai after? Nah, that's cheap. Draw that shit out, nigga. Oh, and then in SF5 she had like the cross under with the EX kunai. Oh, making sure that she's farther now. She can't do it. The fuck up, nigga. Like, oh, yo, is that? Did you do Tiger knee input? That's actually kind of hard to execute consistently, and it'll burn your fucking thumbs. Oh, +2 lightning legs with Chun. Oh, nah, take that out, -2. Nigga, what the fuck? Like, anything that requires any sort of exertion, bro, they don't want you doing that shit, bro. That's scary to them. Nah, that's gonna go against their MO. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna go against what they want. They want people to feel coddled. Why you think there's no rank system in Strive? Why you all this shit, bro? Like, oh my god, the rank scares me. Fuck it. I see people cheat for rank all the time. That's how you know that's all they care about, bro. That shit doesn't mean nothing. It never did. Go play offline if you could. Yo, like, and if you can't, like, seek those that know what the fuck's going on and have good connections on Discord or some shit. Do something so that you know exactly how it feels to improve and see those improvements and see the worthwhile in those improvements. I don't know. Mo Monkey out, bro.